Woman was shocked to discover the mistress holding her husband, taunting her, but she did not rush forward to make a scene. Instead, she picked up her brush and sketched the scene. Then she drew a huge memorial portrait of herself. On the day of their 5th wedding anniversary, the woman still did not show up. Instead, she had someone deliver that sketch in a farewell letter. Seeing this, the husband immediately panicked. He blamed the mistake entirely on the mistress who had been pestering him. Then he frantically set out to find his wife. The assistant said that his wife and 2 children had died instantly in a serious car accident on the way to the airport. Hearing the news, the man collapsed to the ground in overwhelming grief, and he would spend the rest of his life in endless remorse. Little did he know that his wife and children were still alive. They had started a new life instead. It turned out they had been an enviable couple in college. After marriage, the man was attentive and caring toward his wife in every way. Even at the moment of the car accident, the man risked his own life to shield the woman with his body. The woman had believed they would be happy forever, until she saw her husband embracing one of the company's female stars. Only then did the woman realize her husband had betrayed their marriage. Ironically, the mistress was the poor student she had once sponsored. Every time the husband had an affair with the mistress and returned home, he would pretend to be deeply in love and shower her with care. Because of this, the woman decided to leave her husband for good, so she drafted a script to fake her death a week later. She had planned to slip away quietly with her 2 children, but the mistress provoked her again and again. The mistress sent the husband several sexy photos showing her bare back. The husband immediately could not help but swallow hard. Then he used company business as an excuse to go see the mistress. He had no inkling of his wife's unusual behavior. Then the mistress sent the woman another taunting text message, claiming that the unloved person was the real third party. Although the woman had already prepared to leave, she still felt deeply hurt. That day, when she returned home, she caught a chill and developed a fever. The husband immediately took her to the hospital, and he stayed by her bedside without leaving. But the mistress thought this was the woman's deliberate act of revenge, so the mistress kept calling the man over and over. She even went to the hospital to find him. Seeing the man and the mistress embracing, the woman was no longer sad, because she had lost all hope in her husband. 2 days remained before she would leave. The woman suggested that her husband accompany her every day to drop off and pick up the children from school. The husband didn't hesitate to agree to her request. When their 2 sons heard this, they happily ran to their father and kissed him. The man did not know that this warm scene would soon disappear. At that moment, the mistress deliberately live-streamed her in the man's love nest, and shared it with the woman. In order to make the fake death drama more convincing, the woman pretended to be angry and begged the mistress to leave her husband. She offered to meet any of the mistress's demands. Little did the mistress know that the woman was planning a big surprise for them on their 5th anniversary. The next day, the man prepared to take their 2 sons to school. Suddenly, the mistress called again. The man warned the mistress not to disrupt his life. The mistress said she couldn't control her love for him. Hearing her declaration of love, the man agreed to go see her. The children asked their mother if their father no longer wanted them. She hurriedly comforted them, saying that their father was just busy with work, not rejecting them, and she told them not to fuss if their father had to leave later. Watching her well-behaved, sensible children, and thinking that they would never see their father again, she finally couldn't help but shed tears. At that moment, the husband, just entering the room, noticed her tears. She hastily explained that the wind and sand had irritated her eyes. Immediately after, the man took the children to school. At that time, the mistress sent a text message angrily accusing the woman of using the 2 children to keep the man. She threatened that once the man arrived at the office, he would never return home. The woman believed the mistress had the means to do it. When she went to pick up the children, her husband did not show up. Even her calls went unanswered. The woman realized the mistress had succeeded again. There was only 1 day left in the fake death countdown. She prepared to bid her husband a final farewell. When she arrived at the office with her 2 children, a colleague angrily told her that the man and the mistress were in the office. The woman immediately understood what was happening. She arranged for the 2 children to rest first. Then she followed the assistant to the office door. But the husband and the mistress didn't hear the knock. The assistant handed the keys to the woman. At the moment the woman opened the door, she saw her husband sitting at his desk, looking nervous and uneasy. Although the woman noticed the mistress hiding under the desk, she didn't hurry to expose her. Instead, she calmly reminded her husband not to be late for their 5th anniversary tomorrow. She said she would prepare a surprise for him then. At that moment, the man still didn't know he was about to lose his beloved wife and 2 children.